Told that self-awareness is the key to everything: better relationships, more success, a happier life. So you journal, you read the books, you maybe even have a life coach. You've mastered metacognition, the ability to think about how you think. But what happens when this superpower becomes your prison? When the inner observer becomes your inner critic, and you're so aware of your own flaws that you can barely move. To understand this, we have to debunk a myth. Not all self-awareness is created equal. Psychology distinguishes between healthy metacognition and hypervigilance. Healthy metacognition is an open-minded exploration. It's about perspective taking, understanding your limitations, and using that knowledge to grow. It's the foundation of emotional intelligence. But hypervigilance is a coping mechanism. It's a trauma response, often born from a childhood where you had to constantly monitor your own behavior and the moods of others to stay safe. It's about survival, not growth. So how do you tell the difference? A therapist sitting across from you wouldn't just hear your self-analysis, they'd listen for the why behind it. The first sign is analysis paralysis. Healthy self-awareness leads to clarity and action, but hypervigilant self-awareness leads to a state of constant assessment. You overanalyze every choice, every word, every potential outcome until you are frozen. You're not making a decision, you're trying to predict the future, and the sheer weight of possibility crushes you. Second, you become emotionally detached from your own life. You're so busy observing your feelings that you forget to actually feel them. You can label your anxiety with clinical precision. Ah, yes, a classic cortisol spike triggered by a perceived social threat. But you can't just sit with the simple human feeling of being scared. It's like a scientist who knows all the chemical compounds of a cake but has never tasted its sweetness. And third, your self-awareness isn't about acceptance, it's about fixing. You don't see your limitations as part of a complex whole human being. You see them as a to-do list of character flaws to be eradicated. And that's a relentless pursuit of perfect that doesn't exist. Where's the self-compassion? You're not trying to understand yourself. You're trying to upgrade yourself like a piece of software. So where does it come from? Often it's a brilliant but exhausting adaptation to childhood trauma or an unstable environment. If you grew up needing to predict a parent's mood to avoid conflict, or if love and attention felt conditional, your brain learned a powerful lesson. If I can just understand and manage myself perfectly, I can stay safe. That hyper-aware child becomes an adult who is still trying to manage their own environment. Only now the environment is their own mind. It's armor, and it's incredibly heavy to wear. So how do you put down the armor? How do you turn the interrogator spotlight into a warm, gentle lamp? The goal isn't to become less self-aware, it's to become more self-compassionate. First, practice getting out of your head and into your body. When you feel the urge to analyze emotion, instead ask, where do I feel this in my body? Is it a tightness in your chest, a pit in your stomach? This is a core concept in many trauma therapies like somatic experiencing. You're connecting with the raw, physical data of your feelings, bypassing the analytical mind that wants to turn it into a problem. Second, practice the radical act of good enough. Perfectionism is the engine of hyper-vigilant self-awareness. Intentionally do something imperfectly. Send an email with a typo. Leave a dish in the sink. You're teaching your nervous system that you don't have to be perfect to be safe, to be loved, or to be worthy. You are enough right now in your beautifully unfinished state. And finally, shift your awareness from inward to outward. When you're with someone, try to just be with them. True emotional intelligence, the kind that builds deep connections, isn't just about understanding yourself. It's about using that understanding to create a space of safety and empathy for others. The goal of self-awareness isn't to build a better mirror. It's to build a better window to the world. Your deep, analytical mind is a gift. It gives you insight and empathy that others may not have, but you are not a problem to be solved. You are a person to be experienced. Healing isn't about thinking less, it's about thinking with more kindness. It's about trading the need to be perfect for the peace of being present. And in that presence, you'll find a freedom that no amount of analysis could ever provide. If this resonated with you, you may find our other video on the psychology of people pleasers helpful, as it often stems from the same roots.